like, oh, my house is on fire, but like my house matters too.
Right. That's
You should set,
exactly. I
why
didn't
don't you
say it
set
right,
the
but that's
fire?
exactly. For everyone watching, welcome back to another late night with Lucas Randrianarivelo. Firstly, I'd like to thank everybody for joining and checking out the marketing throughout the week, showing that a bunch of love. But the reason we're here today is we're sitting down with Jemieshaw, Pierre-Louis. Hopefully, I got everything here correct. I fact checked everything. She's a first generation Haitian American in her fourth year at RIT, studying civil engineering with a Black Studies minor. She's the president of Black Awareness Coordinating Committee, as well as a member of Women in Technology and NSBE, National Society of Black Engineers. She says that one day she'd like to own and run her own engineering firm, so I could be working for her one day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, let's hop right into it. I mean,
Okay.
our first question is, so what is Black Awareness Coordinating Committee and what does the club do?
So BACC is a club to improve the college experience for Black students through unification, upliftment of our community, and to promote cultural and social consciousness around campus.
So how would you describe our Black and African American community here at RIT?
Well, right now our Black community is really small.
Mm,
We have a lot of resources for Black students, but it's really hard to find. Like we have BACC,
right.
OAS, U House, CSA, LASA, but it's really hard for new students and even older students to find our community. Um, but when they do, we're very fun. It's a place to grow and
Yeah,
like make friends with people that have similar experiences with you.
right. I mean, I have further questions on that later in our interview, but why do you think that is? That why is our Black and African American community so small, you think?
I feel like people don't. Well, first, like Rochester is not. It has Black history,
Hmm.
but a lot of students don't look to apply to RIT as of other
Gotcha.
schools. Like we do have historically Black colleges,
Hmm.
and it's really scary to apply to a predominantly white college.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just hop right into like the big hitting questions. I mean, what is your thoughts on
Right.
the current racial climate of today in our nation? I mean,
Well, I feel like this social climate today is a ripple effect of COVID. Everyone is economically challenged, especially in the poorer Black communities,
mhm,
and along with that comes the unjustful murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. This initiated or instigated the Black Lives Matter protests and everything. Um, well, I feel like it also exposed more knowledge on what's going on, and on one hand it's disheartening, but I'm glad that the message is getting through to other people.
mhm.
um, and but the struggle of police and racism is embedded in our society and history, so that's always been there. It's just
Yeah,
that now we're actually seeing it.
right. I mean, maybe another follow-up question is, what is the Black Lives Movement and Black Lives Matter movement, and what does it mean to you?
So Black Lives Matter movement specifically means to me um, that there's issues in our systems that hinder Black people from progressing economically and socially. And it exposes those hurdles and reminds everyone that Black lives do matter.
Gotcha. So, so I mean, with that last question, I mean, in parallel, movements such as the All Lives Matter movement, Blue Lives Matter movement have been emerging, and I don't want to say that it's in retaliation to Black Lives Matter movement, but
I definitely think that it is in retaliation. Black Lives Matter is to uplift a group of people that have been like cast aside.
hmm,
Um, all lives matter. All lives don't matter unless Black lives matter too. Black Lives Matter
Wow.
movement does not suggest that Black lives should or are more important than other lives. It's just saying that Black people lives are like undervalued in the US. So
Yeah, I
why
mean,
we're recognizing it now.
yes, yes. I mean, one of the more humorous takes on this idea was that uh, my house is on fire, and
Right.
someone was saying, "Yes, my house is on fire," but it was like all houses matter, you know? I mean, like,
This is exactly how it is. Like, oh, my house is on fire, but like my house matters too.
right? That's
You should
exact.
send,
I
why
didn't
don't you
say it
send
right,
the
but that's
fire
exactly
trucks
what
to
it was.
my house? I'm like, your house is
Right.
just not on fire.
So, what would you say to someone that says that white privilege isn't real?
To that, I would ask, why do you say that? And then the answers would be, oh, I had like a rough upbringing, or my life was difficult as well. But your life was not difficult because of the color of your skin. Like, if you were to apply for a loan, you would not get that loan because you don't have a job or your credit score is really bad. But Black people wouldn't get that loan with that extra reason of them being Black. So that's just, they're a beneficiary of racism. That is white privilege.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, this is something I've been saying a lot. I mean, I've had a lot of discussions across the board with a lot of friends, mentors, and this is something I've been hearing and read actually a couple times was that say we're taking life as a game of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And so that in 1965, minorities or blacks were given the chance to vote, right? With everything that was happening in the civil rights movement, Martin Luther King, uh, John Lewis, and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
so white, Caucasian, they've been batting for since 1776. But the blacks have been able to start batting. They've been able to start playing the game in 1965. So that's where people
Right.
say, "Oh, you're starting on third base." Yes, because we just got up to bat in 1965.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So I mean that's the
Yeah,
idea
that's a
that
great
when
analogy.
people thank you. That's the idea that people I've been saying and people tell me that, "Oh, white privilege isn't real." I
Right.
mean, what
Yeah.
else do I have to say? I mean, that's just on voting. We haven't been talking about before there was Jim Crow, there was segregation. There's plenty of other things. So, wow. Well, this is another really big one. I mean, what are your thoughts on the policing and racially charged deaths that's been occurring across the nation? I mean, what are your thoughts on what's been happening there? I mean, people have been saying, let's abolish the police, defund the police. What is your thoughts there?
Well, abolishing and defunding are not the same.
Right.
I believe in defunding the police, so we can transfer those funds to crime preventative
Hmm.
resources like uh, social workers, therapists, like people that are there before the crime happens, or preventing the crime. And I also believe in training. I feel like police officers, they're, I don't know how long they're in training before they become official police officers, but it's shorter than becoming an engineer, that's for sure. I believe in like educating and training them for longer, like an actual college degree.
What are your thoughts on this? And it's definitely come up, especially around the N word. I mean, people will say that, oh, it's in rap songs. They say it's so normal to say. And so, say, let's take a concert, for example. Let's say that Drake or Future is rapping at his concert. What are your thoughts on who is allowed to say the N word?
Well, if you would like to join us for our N word meeting that we have every year in the fall, you guys can join it. But basically, the response I would give to you is that you, hmm, say that I had a boyfriend, right?
Mhm.
You would not call me sweetheart. That is not your place to call me sweetheart. It is
Right.
only possessed by him. because he is my boyfriend. So I feel like if you do not identify as Black, um, it is not your place to say it.
Yeah. What or how can students today, our age, college students around the world, be doing our part to ensure that equality and do our part as human beings to ensure that our brothers and sisters, Martin Luther King's dream is not just a dream? I mean, what would you say to that? How?
Well, I feel like if you're old enough, vote, sign all the petitions, protest if you're comfortable. I know it's very dangerous out there, um, but protest if you're comfortable. Educate through social media. I feel like people forget how powerful social media can be and how other people don't see the same posts that you see. And just make sure you educate your peers.
Yeah,
Um, and like with social media, I feel like we've been getting back to the regular swings of things,
yeah,
but this, I mean, this, we shouldn't go back to the old normal. The new normal should be speaking up, using your platform to give others a voice and to spread the message, because the fight's not over yet. So, right.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I want to say thank you for joining us. That will be conclude our interview, but I want to say thank you for having an amazing conversation that we just had. And but yeah, thank you for sitting down and having this interview, and then everybody for joining us throughout this hour. I'm going to link down or send out the BACC Instagram account for you guys to go follow and see the amazing stuff that they're doing. But yeah, just
Yeah.
thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining.
Thank you,
Thank
Lucas.
you. Yeah. All right. Have a good one, though. Have
Right.
a good rest of your weekend and have a good
Yeah.
week.